welcome back to my channel. So I am first gonna really quickly apologize. I know I said in October I would make a video every single day and I have not fulfilled that promise. So I am so sorry. October is just a really busy month for me. Like between work, life, haunted house, like working at a haunted house, like it's just a lot, so I apologize. But just know I am gonna do my best to try to post as much as possible for the remainder of the month. But yeah, so for today's video, this is kind of inspired by the new movie that's come out called Good Boy. I have not seen it yet. Do not spoil it. I want to watch it at some point. I just don't like going to the theater when a movie first comes out because usually there's a bunch of people and I don't like people like that, or I don't like crowds like that. I should specify that. I'm not a big crowd person. But this video is kind of inspired based off of that. So if you don't know, basically the premise of the movie is it takes place in the perspective, or a house is haunted and it takes, it's from the dog's perspective, right? So that kind of gave me an idea for this video, which is kind of like how animals are in regards to the paranormal things. Because I feel like we as people, there are people that have the fifth sense, where, you know, they might see things that others can't, they might hear things that others can't. There are people that are more susceptible to paranormal activity or ghost spirits, whatever your preference of wording is. Like there's mediums and things that can talk to ghosts and stuff, or spirits, again, whatever your preference is. But, so basically, I guess what I'm getting at is animals are even more susceptible than people. And then again, the premise of that movie is a house is haunted and it's from the dog's perspective. Again, I haven't seen it, so I don't know if it's good or not. I do want to watch it. If you have seen it, don't spoil, but let me know in the comments down below, if it was a good movie, if it's something I should go see. But back to today's video. So I know I should probably do it on dogs, but I'm gonna start with cats, and there's a reason. But today's video is going to be on cats and the paranormal, if you will. And kind of what we're gonna talk about is more, because again, it's believed that animals can sense paranormal things better than people. So we're gonna we're gonna focus on cats, and specifically we're gonna dive into the whys, some mythology, I don't want to say mythology, but more ancient superstitions, and then more modern day superstitions. And again, I know you guys are probably like, well, why don't you do dogs? The movie is literally about dogs. The reason I'm starting with cats is because usually it's believed that cats are more susceptible than dogs. Dogs are more susceptible to paranormal things than humans, but cats, it's even more than dogs. I feel like, in my opinion. If you disagree, that's okay. But don't worry, I am also going to make a separate video for dogs. So, and because, you know, I'm a cat lover and a dog lover. I am more of if it's cat or dog, I pick dog, but I still love cats. So we're gonna do cats. We get the idea. So without further ado, I'm gonna shut up. Let's get into the video. All right. So the first things I kind of want to dive into is the senses for a cat in comparison to a human. And this is for the argument of why cats are more susceptible to paranormal things than humans. So first we're gonna start with hearing, right? Humans have pretty good hearing, but cats' hearing is next level. It would have been smart to look up exactly what our hearing is in comparison to a cat, but cats literally have ultrasonic hearing. They can hear mice running around, but cats literally can hear them. And mice don't really make sound when they're running. So cats have essentially ultrasonic hearing. So when it comes to the paranormal, even the paranormal, it takes them a lot of energy to do things. Whether they're making a sound, whether they're trying to blow out a candle, do something physical. It takes them a lot of energy. So for our ears, for most people, again, unless you have a fifth sense or a medium, we usually can't hear things, but cats might, their hearing is so much better than ours, it makes them more likely. I do want to talk about the big one, which cats are known for, is their eyesight. Dogs are known to have a really strong sense of smell. cats are known to have a very strong vision. And I did write this down, and I am going to kind of read off the paper to make sure I get this right. So cats have more rods in their eyes than we do. So because of that, they can see in low light, and they can detect movement and shadows at night, which obviously for us, like if it's dark out, unless like there is some kind of light illuminating, we can't detect shadows, but cats can. Hence, especially like at night, like that's where cats are really good at like hunting, right? But cats have really, really strong vision. Like their vision's better than a dog. So especially with paranormal things, like a cat's vision, unmatched. You know, I'm not saying like they're gonna see everything, but especially that vision is gonna make them probably more susceptible, at least to seeing things. Especially like shadows and things, like I feel like for a cat, you know, they're more susceptible. Okay, so now that we kind of went into the senses for why people believe like cats can detect the paranormal, like we've looked at the senses, let's kind of look at like supernatural folklore, and we're gonna just touch on a few different areas. I'm sure every culture has something with what we're just gonna touch on a few what I feel like to be more relevant areas. So I'm gonna start with ancient Egypt. And cats were known to be sacred in ancient Egypt. The reason why cats were sacred in ancient Egypt is because cats were believed to be protectors against evil spirits and bad energy. And they were believed to be like protectors, and that they would guard you and your home from evil spirits. And like the people in ancient Egypt like took it so seriously and believed it so deeply that like cats were these protectors, that if you killed a cat, it was punishable by death. Like they were that sacred, like where they really believed like they would keep evil spirits away, and like that they could detect them. So that's just one example of like some superstition with cats and spirits, right? Next, we are gonna move on to a little bit of Japanese folklore. This one I'm slightly more prepared for it. I do have it written down because I don't know how to pronounce this or these names, and please, I apologize if I butcher these. Forgive me. I'm not trying to butcher. But in Japanese folklore, they have cats with like supernatural powers they call bakaniko and nekomata. Again, if I butchered that, I am so sorry. I'm not trying to step on toes. Forgive me. But they believed that older cats could develop abilities like shape-shifting or communicating with spirits. So yeah, there was that belief with older cats, like they could do that. Also, they did have the belief that cats could ward off evil spirits as well. However, in Japanese folklore, they also believed that, cats could become mischievous spirits if mistreated. So you were supposed to be nice to cats. But kind of similar in the sense to ancient Egypt, Japanese folklore, like cats are a symbol of warding off evil spirits. Again, they could develop powers as they got older, like shapeshifters or communicating with spirits. So somewhat similar in that regard with like a belief of cats and warding off evil spirits. Next one is gonna be Celtic and European folklore. So especially in Europe and even in America, sadly, I don't think it's true, but sadly it is a superstition. Black cats are seen as familiars of witches. They are spiritual companions that help with magic. So that's why, you know, people do unfortunate things to black cats. Again, I don't think it's true. I'm not really convinced. But that is sadly a thing specifically with black cats. They are usually seen to be attached to like witchcraft. Again, there's always those superstitions like, oh, don't let a black cat cross your path. However, I did want to share this little one that I thought was kind of fun and uplifting for black cats. In Scottish folklore, they actually say black cats, like if you see a black cat at your door, it's actually a sign of good luck. So I think that's a great, you know, like, oh good, somebody thinks differently, thankfully. But yeah, so those are kind of just some of the different superstitious folklore from different cultures about cats and the paranormal. All right, so now we're gonna kind of just get into modern day superstitions. So for why people think cats can sense the paranormal. Many people believe that cats can sense energy shifts. And this, I'm not saying like this is backed up, but and I've seen a lot of these videos, but like in hospice, like hospice nurses, right? So with hospice nurses, I'm not saying like every single one has seen this, but it is believed with hospice nurses or hospice workers have noted quite a few that shortly before a patient dies, like a cat will sit with them and then they die. The end. But yeah, but like that happens. Like it's like cats can almost sense like there's this energy shift and like they'll stay with people like shortly before they die. So that is kind of proof, I don't want to say proof, but that could lead to potential evidence that like cats can sense like a spiritual shift. So kind of, and I kind of just use that as an example of a modern superstition. My personal opinion on the whole thing, honestly, I am a strong believer that like both cats and dogs can sense paranormal things. I have personally always believed cats can sense it better than dogs because, again, one, like their vision, superior. Like they have really strong vision. They can see very well at night. Spirits are more active at night typically. If you've seen any of my Ouija talks, I mention that quite often, especially my recent ones. So spirits are really active at night. Cats have really good vision, so they can kind of sense those shadows and movements and things. But cats can sense, like, again, they can see really well. They have a very strong hearing, and like I said, with paranormal things, it takes a lot of energy for them to do anything, even just making a sound, like, or when people use things like spirit boxes, right? Like, it takes them a lot of energy to like communicate through those. So like, of course, like, so if a cat's hearing is way better, like, of course they're going to be able to hear it. Also too, like the energy shifting thing, like, cause I feel like cats, like when something's off, like they get the hairs on the back, like they just know. And I'm not saying like paranormal movies are true, but I've seen so many paranormal movies where cats will literally like, like they sense something's off, they run under the bed, or like usually cats will flee if something is off, if that makes sense. Like if there's something truly wrong, usually they will try to like get into a hiding place or like get away. So I feel like, I guess to summarize what I'm getting at with my personal beliefs is, yes, I believe cats can sense paranormal things primarily, again, if with their hearing and their eyesight and just how the paranormal is and how much energy it takes. And like, again, we've seen it with like hospice situations. I've seen so many stories of like people saying like a cat went up to somebody and then shortly later they die. Like, it's like, I really do think they can sense that spiritual shift, and then they can sense like spiritual energy. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, keep definitely subscribe and stay tuned. I am gonna make one on dogs as well, especially because, again, the movie Good Boy, it is about a dog's perspective. So I am gonna make a dog one definitely in a very short time frame. So stay tuned for that. But like this video, subscribe, comment down below. Do you believe that cats can sense paranormal things? Why or why not? Also, if you've seen the movie Good Boy, again, without spoiling, is it worth watching? Like, am I gonna waste my time going to see it? Cause I know it's been really hyped up. Like, is it worth it? Check out my social medias. I have TikTok. It's Queen of Horror 666. I have Instagram, Horror Lover 13, and my Facebook, Queen of Horror. Check out all that. Yeah, that's all I got. I will try to post a video as soon as possible. Again, stay tuned for that dog one. But till next time, bye guys. And just remember, always say goodbye. Bye.